Welcome everyone. This is it. This is the final of the Unis Alliance Games chess. For the past two stages, we got to know who's the best out of the best. We got the best 10. And from this best 10, today we'll know who's the best. My name is Jan Kabrzyński and I'll be your host today. I'm also the co-organizer of this event. And I'll be hosting this event with Kamil Żurawski, who participated previous two stages of this event. Hello, Kamil. It's great to see you.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Jan. Welcome.
So without further ado, we can start the game. I think that we would go with this one. Okay, so we have Kef against the Pawn Sacrifice. Kef is from University of Mol, and Pawn Sacrifice is from University of Catania. Okay, so what do we have? It's d4, d5, c4, so it's a pretty popular Queen's Gambit, and we got the Queen's Gambit accepted. And then e3, knight to f6, simply developing, and bishop to c4, and now a6. a6 is just to play b5 in the next move. Or maybe first we have to play e6 to prevent any sacrifices on f7.
Yeah. That's why queen b3 happened. Right? Yeah. Position.
Okay, so queen to b3. I remember Garry Kasparov lately played a similar position, but he played e5 earlier and he lost very quickly, just like in 8 moves or something. Okay, but we didn't have this, and Pawn Sacrifice is standing very well. Okay, so a6 to prevent bishop to f7, knight to f3, and c5. Counter striking in the center. Castles, b5, just as I said, and bishop to e2. Didn't white miss this b5? What do you think, Kamil?
I think not really. Maybe e4 is more correct, but it's really standard to play on the king side, I think, in that variation.
You're right.
Maybe. Now black have the really nice white square bishop on b7. So
yes. So we get c4.
Maybe it's miss, but
bishop to b7. This bishop is playing really well on this long diagonal. Knight to c3, knight to c6, finishing the development, but still we have the king in the center, so we have to remember that we cannot open it as black. White would like to open the center, but a3 is a bit slow in my opinion. It's slow.
a3? It prevents bishop develop on before, because we in this type of position we want to play e4 as soon as possible, and then bishop on e7 or d6 may feel a bit uncomfortable.
That's right. And one move I would like to see here, maybe apart from a3, would be rook to d1 to prepare e4.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay,
so a3, queen to rook to c8. Black is refraining from castling. That's a bit odd. Okay, we have to speed up a bit because the game is ending, because we started a bit late. Rook to d1, as I mentioned. To d5, e4, and we have a pretty solid center from white. It looks great. Okay, so knight to a5, going for the b3 square, d5. Just as I mentioned, if we have the king in the center, we have to open up the position because king may not escape from it sometimes.
And I think in this position, it won't end happy for the black.
I also think so. Knight to d3, risky move, in my opinion. Should be d6, but black should be, or it wasn't quick enough. Okay, h3 to e8, and black grabbed the pawn.
Yeah, we must speed up.
Okay.
Just because
So we can go.
the game is ending for now.
The ending. Okay. That's okay.
So move on to the.
Traded.
Yes, so move on to the actual position about the.
This is the actual
bishop
position.
takes. Yeah, bishop takes before and bishop e4. The black bishop is not really active like a white pair of bishop for me, but the a pawn is really scary. No tactics.
Bishop the e5, and I think that's the end of the game. It should be the end because we have a queen on the board and
we don't have time.
White lost some time. Okay, so let's see
let's move to the last game. Yeah.
Yes, so here also black should be winning. With black pieces we have Guillermo Santamaria. Oh, and we have a checkmate from Guillermo. He played against his teammate from Cantabria, Juan Hinojal. Okay, so we have we are after the first round, and the favorites won everything. Yes. Okay, so let's see the game from Guillermo. Guillermo Santamaria from University de Cantabria from Spain with white pieces, and with black our teammate, let's say, Paweł Filipiak from Poznań University of Technology. So we got French defense, Tarrasch variation with the d2, knight to d2, and black striked with the c5.
Yeah,
because it's not
ordinary.
It's pretty ordinary stuff. Okay, so we have development of the knights, and probably we will reach the position in Isolani. Am I right?
Yeah.
Probably something about like d takes and c5. Probably Guillermo is waiting for the bishop to move on the e7 to the, or maybe go for the to b3. I'm a bit surprised. Is it ordinary stuff? I'm not into French structures, so what's your opinion about it, Kamil?
In my opinion, it's a bit odd to play like this, because usually the structure in the French is closed, so we want to keep our knights. Now we give up the knight from c5 for the bishop from e7. So I'm pretty sure that was an accurate decision. But still, white have more space. I think it's not. It's definitely not a mistake. Okay, but maybe white won't play the ending with the pair of bishop.
Yeah, you're right. Totally. I don't like the isolated c5 pawn. Black should easily capture it, in my opinion.
Yes, but
with knight d7 later. Okay, so let's get back to the position because we stopped here for a moment. Okay, black castled. white went for the g5 square with the bishop, rook to c7, and rook to e1.
And rook to c8, it was, like you mentioned, to get rid of the pawn of c5 as soon as possible. I don't think we need to hurry as a black.
I thought in this position that maybe we should play h6.
Maybe something like rook e8. Just simple develop.
Yes,
but the rook is c8.
Removing the developed piece twice and removing the protector from the d5 pawn. I simply don't like this.
On, because a really interesting move happened. After bishop on g4, we want as black to improve our bishop. h3, and after taking g, takes on e3. e3.
What's the idea behind it? Because I don't understand it.
It's really
odd.
typical, like in Italian Guico piano games, like the plan when the knight goes to d2 f1, and sometimes when the knight goes to f1, black takes on e3, the knight. So we have the choice, the same choice as in this part, in this game. So we may take with queen. I would say it's more peaceful. Like,
I see the tactics. Kamil, look, when we would take with the queen, we will have knight to d4. Tactics, it's always tactics.
But before h3, if it was not planned, before h3, we may take on c6, right?
You're right. Okay, so we got taking on c6 with rook, queen to d4, protecting the pawn on c5, queen to d7.
And king to
g2, okay.
I mentioned more like king to h2 to free the g line for the rook.
But now the f3 pawn wouldn't be protected.
Yeah, but with the... Oh, he maybe was afraid of queen c7 check, and that's why king on g2.
Yeah, you're right. That's another thing.
Because it's typical to play rook on g1 in this type of position, but maybe now it's a bit strange. But if we move our queen to h4, then rook to g1, we may move around the king. We may have a strong attack.
I think we are too slow, Kamil. We don't have enough pieces, and black's pieces are too active. Okay, so let's look at what happens. Okay, rook to e5, queen to c2. And yes, we have a rook to g1, which we mentioned before.
And h6, typical.
Okay, queen to a4.
And king to h2.
e2, okay, queen to g6. Black is in trouble. I don't understand what this queen makes there. Probably something like, can we take on h6? I think it's too early. Or maybe taking and then queen to f4, or maybe queen to h4 right away.
We cannot take in this moment, like it was played in the game, king to h2 and king h8. Now, okay.
Oh, checkmate.
It ends like we expected, so yeah, black was in the real danger here. Okay, so move to the last.
Let's
Game.
see. Oh, we have a game between Kev and Super Sicarius 88.
Yeah,
What happens there?
don't know really,
But
but
this
I see
bishop
Kev
trapped.
have same as the first round time problems.
It's massive time problems.
Uh,
And he lost in time. But he should lose after queen to h6 and then mate would come.
unavoidable
Unfortunately.
mate on
Okay, let's see the
h2,
standings.
h8.
Yeah, right, h8. Guillermo has 2 points. Oh, and he's the sole leader.
Yeah.
Let's see the game from
But
Gary
then-
Scotty.
Yeah.
Gary Scotty
Blind
against Blind Poem. Those are, I believe, 2 guys from University of Mons. Oh, I'm not right. Blind Poem is from Mons. It's Benjamin Maltier. And Gary Scotty is from Tanya. So we got it's like a hybrid between Oni and King's Indian, but why should we voluntarily let white to play d5? Oh, so it's now like Banker Gambit.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand why should... okay, so Black's idea behind the opening was that to prove that white's position is overextended, that those 3 pawns moved too early. And I think that Black managed to do it because now he has open A file and this mass on the queen side.
I'm not really familiar with that type of position. I don't like them with both of colors, so...
Oh, okay, I understand you. Totally, because it's a bit risky, I think, go for such positions.
For me, it's not risky, but it's really passive from both sides. We can see the center is closed, and we must play on the queen side or the king side, but in the main plan, we must wait what the opponent will do.
Right, because maybe
it's
white...
a bit frustrating for me to just stay and looking around.
Yeah, those kinds of positions are a bit
boring, we may say.
Boring, yeah. Okay, so castles. I thought that Black castle, but he didn't. Okay, so knight to 7, preparing probably bishop to b5, knight to d2, and we have a bishop to b5, knight to b5, queen, knight to c4. The common square for the knight in the Banker Gambit.
Yeah, but I don't really know where the knight from d1 is coming.
You're right, it doesn't have any squares. We don't want to play b3 since those squares would be... We can maybe f3 since we don't have the white light square bishop.
After castle, he played rook e1, so f4? F4 is the plan? I can't see the plan.
Played f4, we would go for the f5 maybe.
Yeah, it's really standard.
No,
it's really standard procedure. When in that type position, I don't think now. Maybe the right choice was to play e3 or something to prepare e3 easily, and just go to the queen side, but like both games, both players decide another way.
Personally, I like Black's position better, more.
More.
It's just
Yeah,
more.
it is clear
Pieces
plan
are more
to me.
focused on the queen side when white is creating an attack in the center, but we don't have enough pieces. We should move this knight. Now we create weak c2 pawn. White's
We
a
can
bit better,
move on a bit,
in my
I
opinion.
think. I think we can move on.
It's the present position.
Okay.
The present.
So,
what's the idea behind this queen to d7?
I don't really like the move b3. b3 stops all the potential. When white plays a3, all problem on the queen side, I think they're gone.
You're right. I agree because we have the potential of playing on the a2 pawn, and now it's gone. Now we have to focus on something else. We lost our play, simply. And now a5 came. I think that now Black played, I think, just a bit thoughtlessly.
Yeah. White's
now
can
I don't know
easily
what
now
those
counter-strike in center.
And we have
Am I
to
wrong?
be careful because because if we if we move this rook, we could be forked by these knights. Okay, queen to b2, d6, and this passed pawn may be important in the future. Now we can play, I think, rook to d8 or e8 to bring those rooks to the game because they are out.
Yeah, but as white, we must be extremely careful to not lose the pawn of d6.
Yes. This pawn may be a weakness or strength for us. It depends. Oh, so we have exchange sacrifice from from black. That's how we call exchanging rook for a minor piece, rook, knight, or a bishop. But
now the white have two rooks and black have only two minor figures. And
Black's position seems just lost, but in blitz games,
it's all collapsing. Black have no. I don't see the idea to play active for black, because if we behind in the material, we may have some activity in position. And now I didn't see anything.
You're right, and it's probably black will lost some time.
Yeah.
Pretty good game by Blind Poem, Benjamin Maltier. Okay, so we have one game and still from Kev, still from Tommaso Carlesi from University of Mons against Tom Vertenuel from University of Mons.
For first look, white is clearly winning.
Yes,
but
it looks like we're mating the Black King.
I don't think it's that easy, but
we are mating. The next move is the mate.
Yeah.
Okay, so Black resigns in that, and we can see that Oh, Guillermo lost. Guillermo lost to GR 100p. That was unexpected. That was truly unexpected. Okay, so we have now National Master Pawn Sacrifice 98 from University of Catania, Riccardo Marzadori. We can see his game. Where is he? Okay. So we have this strange order. This is Jobava system. We're aiming for playing to b5 and then creating some mess in the black structure.
I'm not very familiar with that.
It looks strange, but I don't think this pawn is weak. We will play. And black black gave up this pawn. Probably missed it.
Yeah, but now it's on the edge of the loss for me. Because look at the black squares.
Right. I think you're right because we are.
Look at the black squares. We don't have black square bishop. It's from the strategic point of view, it must be lost.
I agree totally because if it was a classical game, I would simply write 1 and 0. But since it is blitz game, we can see everything, simply everything.
Yeah.
Black's position is.
Yeah, but black must sacrifice 2 moves with his knight just to protect the dark square.
Yes, but can't we play just bishop to e7, then takes? Oh, we can. Sorry, I didn't calculate it well. I should have made more puzzle before.
That's happened. Well, it's good for you that you looking for some plays like that.
Always have to look for the tactics because as you.
But we may try.
In the first game, we had this.
We may try if we want the material. We may try something like bishop takes e7, and then I hardly believe black must capture that bishop with the king.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, c4. So.
C4.
Aiming for the opening position. Probably
c1.
to c1.
Or now it's. I don't think so. It's now.
Is it enough?
So clear.
Is it enough, Kamil? Because I don't think so. I think that.
As white. Okay. I wonder if black play rook c to d8, we may easily take on.
It might have been a misclick.
Yeah. No. We will take on b7, and with that pair of bishop, it must be done. Clearly must be done. So I think it was.
Okay,
it was
so
good.
Let's see what happened
later. Yeah.
Castle, knight to a5, and we are exchanging the.
And the knight get lost. On f5 before it's coming. Yeah.
b5 and that's it.
Yeah, before and we lost a piece. Now, obviously, black can.
Oh, that's a beautiful tactic. That's a beautiful tactic because after taking.
Trouble is actor for refining.
Okay, so resigned. We can switch back to the tournament. So let's see the game from Super Sicarios and Gary Scotty, maybe.
Okay.
Now we have similar structure as before. And we got a draw offer, which was declined. And we got something similar to the... It's a Sicilian structure from Black, from the Sicilian Dragon. And from White we have something like... I don't know, but it looks pretty solid. I like White's position.
Yeah. Probably it's more like King Indian, but some kind of like Aldemar something.
I understand why did Black wanted to play the d6 to create the hole on the c5, but I don't think that's enough. We should play then a5, then b6, reroute this knight to c5. I think that's too slow. White's position pretty cramped, and Black should aim for the exchanges. Because we don't have space for our pieces, simply.
Probably Black should play something more aggressive, like not the rook to e8, but the knight to e8 and try f5, something like that.
Oh.
With when the diagonal a2 to g8 is closed, we may do something crazy stuff like this.
I like this idea. I like it. Okay, so let's see what happened. e4, taking on 4, c3, and Black have a bishop pair, and that's why he's opening the position. So queen to f4, f6, b3, e5. Okay, Black didn't want to create this, make this pawn isolated. I understand, and pushing the pawn creates some threats. So I like this idea. Knight to d2, bishop to f5 developing, and oh, that looks bad for White. Those black squares look terrible, just look terrible, and now we have them even more weakened. Fortunately, we have this dark sword bishop to cover those, but he is away.
I won't disagree with you, because I think White position is really good right now. We can, if you move on slowly, we may discuss it.
Okay, now I see.
Yeah, that was a misplay. Black did not see probably taking on 7, but as White, we have crucial attack on queen side, and the bishop on b6 is just monstrous. Black can't handle with it. And
Black lost some time.
That's it was funny because White can take on c8 with check before taking back the bishop on b6.
Oh, you're right. Probably that made him flag the game. So let's see what happens in the game of Kev against PF.
Again, Kev.
Again, yes. So material is about equal. Am I right? No, we have Black was down the rook. Oh no, it's equal. When we were talking about pieces, but Black is enough. Oh, that was a mate! Oh, beautiful mate. Oh, just look at this pattern. We had our king locked, and that's how we made. Beautiful stuff from Pavel.
Yeah.
And we have the
very good one. The
last game, and it should be an easy win because
it should end shortly.
Okay, and why resigned? Because he also understood that it's an easy win.
So we have
have
leaders.
Ricardo Marzaduri leading with Benjamin Maltier from University of Bonn.
Yeah.
And now we're starting the fourth round.
Fifth,
Let's see the game from
right? The fifth one.
Blind Pawn and GR. Oh, I think that we've seen these games. So maybe. Okay, so let's see this game. D4, C5. So we have an invite for the Benoni. The old Benoni, I think. Or we settled for the modern Benoni with G6 and G5. Opening is really dynamic since we have the imbalance of the structure. White has more pawns on the king side and in the center, and black has a major pawn mass. That's why black wants to advance his pawns. A6 is a very typical idea, and white always respond E4. It's like you cannot miss A6 without playing A4.
Yeah.
So queen to C7, bishop B3.
Now it's remember me a bit the Sicilian structure from black.
From which variation?
Like the Najdorf variation with the Fianchetto. Or maybe no, I miss. It's like more dragon variation.
Again, yeah,
Am I
you're
right?
right. You're right.
Yeah. Now I'm right. So, what are the main issue in this position for black? Is the point on d5. It takes a lot of space.
Yeah, our bishop has simply no space, and we cannot really attack this pawn. Well, because it has too many protectors. Now white probably will play something like bishop to c2 or b1. I prefer b1, or maybe just e4. And
e4 is I like this move. It's really good. Black should prevent pushing e5 with putting their knight in that square.
That's very typical from black in those positions in Benoni. And now we created outpost for our knight on d3, but we'll wait with it because we would simply lose our pawn. Oh, so we have a fork.
Unlucky.
Found a really nice idea. I like it. That's why we always look for the tactics, especially when we're playing the Blitz games. But we have a counter strike on the knight, but we would lose.
No, knight on as was played. Knight on h5 solves all the problems.
So white's an exchange down.
Yeah, but now g4 probably. I don't really understand.
Okay, but it's black's move, so maybe something like.
But instead of I don't think
h6. Maybe it would solve the problems for black.
No. I thought more like not to take the knight on c1 with the rook, but just instead of this play before.
Oh, okay. But after g4, the knight would come to the b3.
Yeah, but I believe we have strong attack after
Okay,
that.
let's see. So
Taking on h5 and so on. Don't
let's see.
really
So
know.
g4, knight to b3, taking. Okay, now I see. We are threatening
Advance.
h6.
Yeah.
Okay, I like your idea. I do like your idea. So okay, we have queen to c5 and
Yeah, move
g4
on.
went and
And now
okay.
I don't
Now
like this. Don't like this move. As black, we shouldn't take on c3. The bishop is.
but Tom missed it. I
I
think
know we need
we played
we need
queen to
space.
c5. We had to because the knight
I
was trapped.
know in that time. Yeah, but
Those two moves were combined.
mostly in this position, we shouldn't do that. We should avoid exchange of our
Yes, because
bishop.
look at those squares; they are just terrible.
And now the mate is coming. Like I see queen h6 and g7 mate.
Yes.
And I don't
Maybe we
really
should
know.
move our rook somewhere,
And
probably,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
knight to
But then,
e8. But still bad.
knights. Now exactly like it was played. Now
And knight
knight
to
on
g5.
g5. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
so that's
another
that's pretty
problem.
bad. So I think that
Yes.
Pavel should see that. He has plenty of time.
And
Okay, he
and
found it.
black
And
must
the game
play
was
f6 and leave really juicy plays on e6 for the knight. That's terrible.
that knight is a monster. Probably rook to f3.
Yeah, it's a mouse principle. Don't see for now anything better. If you want, we may.
I also thought about it, but
Don't like it. If you want, we may take just the pawn b6, and black must stay in place. Like they don't have anything to play. Hardly believe.
f7
Really
probably,
really,
and that should end the game.
Yeah, that's
Because
it.
we are losing our queen to g7, or taking off on h7 and
That's
knight.
it. That's it.
Beautiful game by Pavel.
Okay, and we may turn on to the last game.
Oh, he's not on fire.
Yeah, and now.
Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask us something on the chat on YouTube.
We are after the half of the tournament, and we have only one leader.
Yeah, and it's blind pawn. So it's Benjamin Maltier from University of Mons. So now let's look at. Oh, this is the game between our two highest ranked on the Lichess.
Yeah, okay.
So we have Guillermo Santamaria and Riccardo Mazzaduri. Guillermo from University of Cantabria and Riccardo from Catania. So we have d4, knight to c, knight to f8, and again the Badur Jabava system. c5, not afraid about jumps on b5. Okay, a3, sorry, cd4, d4. I think that Guillermo is more. His knowledge is bigger than mine about those positions, because I don't like this move, because or maybe it was just to prevent the knight from coming to f3 and weakening the king.
That's
Okay.
for sure.
G4, E6. And white would go for the queenside castling. Bishop to B4, A3. That's a good idea because we have to decide what to do with this bishop. Knight to E2, knight to C6.
Oh,
2F2. So we're not going for the queenside castle. That's
we
a bit
don't have
shocking,
to.
but
We don't
understand
have
this.
to. The center is closed, like in the French. So we don't really
Usually, when
have
we
to
have
castle.
closed center, we can remain with our king in the center because it won't be that dangerous when it's closed.
Yeah.
Okay, so bishop to E7, bishop to G2, H6 and H4. Looks like we
Black
have
is
two
moving
grandmasters
back.
because this H4 is
Quickly.
so popular on the grandmaster level.
Yeah, H4 and H4 is really popular now.
Yeah,
The engines really likes them.
that's true. Rook to C8 and B4. It's really expanding on both sides. And black's position looks really cramped.
Yeah, we may move on a bit.
Okay, so now we got
Black
exchange of many
Black
pieces. And what happens? So we have it's an equality in the material, but black has two bishops.
and safer queen, king.
Oh, that's true. What happens after? Okay, I understand. This knight will, this pawn will be lost after taking, but black wanted to go on b2 and go for this pawn.
I'm not sure that we should exchange our queens.
When we are black.
Yeah.
I think so, because the king, white's
Even
king
G3 is
less
more vulnerable on the attacks.
That's true. And maybe now.
I have something like d4 and put your bishop on the b8 h2 diagonal will be monstrous. But really good response. Knight to d5, and we take in the d4 pawn.
Yes, now I think, but the c2
No,
pawn
not
is
right now.
recovered.
Yeah, no, not right now. But it lost.
Okay. Yes.
Black cannot defend it properly. After something like rook on c4, we have always our bishop to f1, and the bishop on b5 is hanging. So
that's true. We have to always look for the tactics, for the tactical weaknesses, and this bishop
and now
is.
We're exchanging the knight for a bishop, and now the position of black is collapsing really hard. Okay, and if white can somehow activate the bishop from the g2, it will be almost win. But how to do that? f4.
What would he do after rook to c3?
Just move his king on h2, I believe.
Okay, that
works. Then to h1, somewhere like that. But now, is that pawn on b7 hanging? Or am I missing something?
Which?
It was first mate. Okay, never mind. It was first mate. Okay, after rook c8. Okay, I missed it.
c8. So now it's a fortune mate.
Yeah, if we take with the bishop on b7, we take, and black takes, and if rook takes, we play rook from 8 to c3, and we must give up one
Oh,
rook,
you're right. You're right.
and we are still mated. So that's why
That's true.
he
That was
don't take
the plan
that
behind
poison
it.
pawn. Okay, so move on to the actual position, maybe,
Okay,
because
so that's what's standing on the
only
board.
one
And
of rook was exchanged, and now we have most of drawish.
it looks
How do you-
drawish, but it depends on which pieces would be exchanged. If
Black has better bishop, but white, on the other hand, have activity of the king. It will be interesting. It should be draw, but on the really high level. And this is blitz.
they are good,
only,
so they might draw it.
Yeah, but they have only 40 seconds.
That's not very much.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going for. Okay, so it looked like they're going for repeating moves, but
No.
Guillermo is going to activate his king.
I think blacks want to just use their activity.
So probably rook
to find out
d4,
something.
and then
No.
I thought for a moment that the rook is trapped. Okay, but we have king to e5.
Yeah, but probably it's overcommitting. No, for now. G6, take out G6. Yeah, it's really drawish. It should be. Because now.
Be a draw.
Yeah, so. I'm trying to find a way, but we must put our king on, I believe, c3 or h3 to attract the pawn from before. Because I think now white is only thinking about the draw. Just
And
okay.
now white has to go for the b1. Or
No.
he didn't.
He knows rook b1.
Why?
Did he miss it?
Probably because he's
The time's matter. The time's matter. He has only 5 seconds. And now it will be really hard. Oh, hold on. Now black cannot handle the pawn on b7.
Black pawn
Yeah.
lost.
So we may say it's rush again, but it's a really dynamic position. Okay, and now rook c2.
Rook to c2 has to be played.
It's only or not. Okay, but what? Okay, no. Okay, black is still lost.
Black is lost totally.
Yeah, because you cannot promote your pawn.
Or no, the bishop would go on the
f5.
And that would be it.
But it's
c4. Sorry.
It's really hard to believe. Oh, okay, some trap, and okay, so
It's a draw. Oh,
yeah,
I think that something was missed there because it looked like a win.
Yeah, the rook probably on b3 check was mistake. We should play just the bishop off on f7 and try do not enter the black king to the first line. That should be enough.
We have a game from Juan to Juan several twos, and Blind Pawn who's leading the tournament. And it looks like Main position from the Sokolski attack, or it's also called Polish opening, or orangutan. This opening
Orangutan,
has
yeah.
many names, but has more
Okay,
names than it should have. It's not very good.
I currently believe it's a main variation.
Really.
Because e5, knight f6, and e4, then. Yeah, I remember something like this. It's a main variation.
It looks rather strange. Okay, but
Yeah, but it has some advantages. Now, black have a point of e4 that, as we mentioned many times, it may be a strength or a weakness. It's hard to consider how, as white, we should attack it now.
disconnected. I've seen on the previous stages, I believe that on the quarterfinal, he also had issues with the
Internet
connection.
issues, yeah.
Yeah. Ah, okay,
Okay.
so he's back. I hope he won't have any issues later since he's fighting for the win.
H3. H3, okay. No. I don't really know how to play that position with blacks because normally I'm playing c6 in first move.
C6?
Yeah, c6 followed by
Okay, I
queen
know this
d6
variation.
and
It's pretty tricky.
a5. Yeah.
We are talking about c6 now. The point is that after bishop to b2, we play queen to b6. This variation is one of the strangest things I've seen in chess about the openings, but the funny thing is it works. So let's get back to the position. Black got a pretty nice center, and
How to deal with it as white? Don't really know.
maybe d3 at some point.
Uh,
With white, we usually go for the center dominance, not striking in the center to gain some space.
But
It
look at
doesn't
the
look
bishops.
well.
Look at the
We
bishops. The
have good bishops, you're right.
bishops, yeah, they're really strong. And I don't really know how to deal with the bishop from b5.
The question is, do we have to think about it?
Yeah,
Because
it's
maybe
annoying.
we can reroute from the d8 and going on the 6th rank on the d8.
Okay.
That's my idea.
Yeah, it's okay. But
Now going on the d8. I would prefer to go with the f5, f8 rook.
okay. From
Since now we stop the pawn from advancing.
yeah, and we are a bit stuck with that rook because we cannot obviously go to 8 d8. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And now we have made threats. Probably Juan will see it, but how to deal with it? I think that g3 is.
I want to recommend the f4. Yeah, f4.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was played. Because now we have a really good square for our knight in the e5 square.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that maybe that knight.
What do you think about taking on d4 now? I think that it would be better since now white could just take.
Okay. Okay, let's say knight on g4 was a possibility. We force h3, we may say, for some reason, we want to force h3. And now we also can take on d4, but I'm not a fan of this because we will release that dark square bishop from b2.
Oh, you're right.
Now,
You're right. That's
now,
an issue. Okay, let's see what happened in the game. So, knight to f6, rook to f2, exchange on the e4, exchange on the d3. And that's something you told us about, restricting this dark square bishops.
but
And now we have the exchange of the bishops.
Yeah, but as you mentioned before, if we moved the rook from the f8, not from d8, many times before, now we may just move around our bishop. We just don't have to exchange it. But
yes,
now
because
we
our bishop was simply better since those pawns were on the dark squares. So black, those several moves ago, should move with the f rook, but
now it's really interesting. But heavy pieces endgame. But blind pawn have really time problems, real time problems. How to deal with it? The position is complicated. Maybe it looks simple, but it's hard to find out the best plan.
Okay, so black offered a queen exchange, and now we're going
White should accept,
king for the a6 pawn, I believe.
One of the rooks should move to a5. I think it's standard position to prevent c5, right? But for some reason, black don't want to play c5. Okay, and now we have typical rook ending. And what do you think about this? Is this drawish or?
Since we have the b3 square, black has an advantage, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, especially after.
Decisive.
Yeah, after.
Our king is near. Later we can even push with the c5.
Why he
we
didn't
have to
take on e4?
be careful about those two pawns.
Yeah, but why he did not take on e4? That point. Yeah, I know the c4 was hanging, but we have really free pawn there. Okay, that's strange, but maybe it's about the time.
Here.
Yeah, it's about the time, I think. That's
right.
it's really complicated, but I think black has chances in that. But now black is only playing for draw. How do?
Yes, yes, because
why king c3? I missed something. Why not king c5?
I think that's wrong. You're right. Because those two pawns are too dangerous. We cannot simply.
That's true. That's for sure. c3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, they end up drawing.
Yeah. And
that's it. Blind pawn won the tournament.
The whole tournament. Congratulations.
Congratulations, and let's see who it is. It's Benjamin Maltier from University of Mons. The second place is Super Sicarius 88. Is Giovanni Sposito from University of Catania. And the third place was taken by the Aicado Mazzaduri from University of Catania, who's also a national master. So well, Camilo, it was a pleasure to commentate this event.
It was an honor to be here.
Thank you, our audience, for being here. I would also like to thank the organizers and our technical support for helping us with the event, with dealing with it. And see you next time. Bye.
See you.